Okay, we're going live and we are going to watch the entire his entire statement on the coal industry and everything that's happening now. But before we do that, I also wanted to get into the entire statement on Netanyahu and his entry and how he was treated basically with a standing ovation. So actually, you know what? We'll play Trump's entrance first into his event for the coal industry, and then we'll compare it to Netanyahu's entrance, which again, if you didn't know, Netanyahu was essentially invited to the White House, and again, for like the sixth time, right? Like how many times, right? So here's Trump in his entrance.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
So yeah, we see the phones are up. The phones are up, and they're kind of interested, and I mean, not super exciting, right? Okay, and that was Trump's entrance. There's his standing ovation. And this was his response. Again.
Clean.
Okay, so there was Trump's entrance. And now let's take a look at Netanyahu's entrance. Let's just compare the two.
Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister of the State of Israel.
This is the president of Israel. They're the prime minister of Israel, right? This is Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel. Crazy to think about that. And this is how we're treating him in America. I meant to say President Netanyahu, not Prime Minister Netanyahu. Mixing things up. But look at this response. Look at this response. Look at the way he's treated. Versus Donald Trump, who basically got like a 5-second standing ovation. And Congress has done this before. But this was today, February 11th, 2026. Amazing. Look at the way both the left, the right, Democrats, Republicans treat this guy. So this was President Netanyahu's, this is how he was greeted. This is how Netanyahu was greeted to Congress today, talking to the United States Congress. This is how the Republicans and the Democrats treated this guy. A standing ovation. They've already done this before. Nick Fuentes was right. He was right the whole time about everything, guys. Let's just be honest about that. Look at this. Wow. This is an occupied country. This is what an occupied country looks like. This is how you know That's crazy. The president of Israel. This was how Netanyahu was greeted versus Trump. Again, let's just go back real quick before we start this whole thing. Then here's Trump's greeting. And this is for the coal business. Is there like an irony in the fact that this was like coal, like we were given coal for Christmas or something? Like, is there a pun intended in there? I don't know. But the energy is just so much different. It's almost like they're trying to just, I don't know what it's like. There's just, the energy is completely off-putting. And look at Mike Johnson back here. He's just like so thrilled. He's like, yes, Netanyahu is taking over finally. Very interesting. All right, let's watch this entire thing, and we'll see what Trump has to say here now.
Clean, beautiful coal. Clean, beautiful coal. We love clean, beautiful coal, don't we, Doug? Huh? I'm thrilled to welcome to the White House the men and women who light our cities. And, you know, you do things that people don't even understand. There's so much. You do so much. You heat our homes, fuel our factories, and turn natural resources into American riches and dreams. Our amazing coal miners. Thank you very much, fellas. That's great. And I know you well. I know you well. I think I get about 97% of your vote. And you wouldn't want to do anything else. You wouldn't switch with a guy who had a beautiful penthouse apartment on Fifth Avenue. You wouldn't switch with that was me. I had a nice, easy life. And now I decided to do this. But you know what? We just hit the highest price in the history of the stock market, 50,000. And a lot of people are getting rich with your 401ks and everything else. So our country is back.
Those oil executives are getting rich. That's for sure, baby.
The hottest country anywhere in the world. So it's pretty cool, right? So I want to just tell you, I really appreciate you being here. You're special people. You got mistreated very badly for a long period of time. But you've never had a better friend in the Oval Office than me, and I'm proud to officially name the undisputed, when did this come out, Mr. Speaker? The undisputed champion of beautiful, clean coal. We have to proceed. Always, I don't use the word coal. You know, it needs a PR job because it had a bad reputation for a while. So we're not allowed to say the word coal anymore. It has to be preceded by beautiful, clean coal, okay? We're cleaning it up. Very good.
You can almost feel the energy in the room. It's super somber.
And we're delighted to be joined by Secretary Doug Burgum, who's done a fantastic job from the great coal mining state of North Dakota. And thanks as well to Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, a fantastic guy who's doing a great job. Thank you, Mike. EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin. He's our secret weapon. He's getting those approvals done in record-setting time. True. Great Senators John Barrasso and Jim Justice. Thank you very much for being here. Hi, Jim. Been a long time, Jim. You're looking good.
Trump with
Shelley
the
Moore
charisma.
Capito. Thank you, Shelley. Thank you very much, darling. Marsha Blackburn, Bill Hagerty, Ted Budd, John Husted, Bernie Moreno, and David McCormick, all here, great senators, every one of them, great senators, representatives in the House, Jim Baird, Troy Balderson, Andy Barr, Dave Taylor, Warren Davidson, Troy Downing, Morgan Griffith, Brett Guthrie,
He's just going through the
Harriet
names.
Hagerman, Mike Kelly, Dan Muser, Scott Perry, Carol Miller, Dana Harshbarger, and Riley Moore. Boy, that's a good group of people. We have some others in here too, and I'm not going to say
Interesting
it's just
last
too many.
names.
Don't get angry at me. I'll never get their vote again. It's very dangerous. I also want to thank the president of the Washington Coal Club, Michael Day, CEO of the National Mining Association, Richard Nolan, along with many of the greatest business leaders in this powerful industry and a great industry it is. But of course, the most important people here today are those who get their hands a little bit dirty to keep America running at full speed, our frontline coal workers, and I'm pleased to report that in the first year of my presidency, real wages for the typical miner increased by more than 2,000.
What do you guys think? You think this is all real? You think he's being honest, or you think this is fluff? You think this is exaggeration? I don't know. I think it's exaggeration. I think that's a lot of somber hopium. But what do you guys think? Maybe I'm wrong.
$200. I'd say that's pretty good, right? And I'll give you the bad news. It's the first time that that's happened in more than 27 years. All right? Those other presidents didn't take good care of you. They didn't take good care of you at all. They
That's
didn't
also
realize
true.
what they had. The last time many of us were together, I signed a historic executive order to ensure that America's beautiful clean coal plants would keep running when we need it most, and that's 24 hours a day in rain, sleet, and snow. You know, coal can operate when other substances can't. The Biden administration, he had no clue what he was doing. Shut down dozens of coal plants. They shut them down. Literally, it seemed like one a week, one a day. They were shutting them down left and right as fast as you could. They were paying people to shut down a coal plant. And if we had stayed on the ruinous path, we would have seen mass suffering and rolling blackouts all over the country. We would have had blackouts right now all over the country. We would have had a country that, worse than blackouts, every other thing would have been wrong with it too, with all of the horrible things that took place at our border. And right now our border is 100% secure. First time in the history of our country, actually.
That is definitely false. That's not true. The border is not secure, and it's one of the main issues that Trump needs to harp on, and he's not, because I think he's blackmailed, and I think we all know that he's probably blackmailed because of the Epstein files, and because of this, it has basically stopped him from being able to do anything. So that's important to note. The border is not secure. The border is not closed, and we're not getting deportations at the numbers we need to if we're trying to deport illegal immigrants from the country.
And you see it all the time. So instead, when large parts of our country were hit with winter storms, it was coal that kept the power on, and it was coal that never was bothered by cold weather, warm weather. It's never bothered by anything. It just keeps on chugging, right? During this vicious storm, and they had some really bad ones, coal generation surged 31%, while solar and wind totally collapsed. I'm not a big fan of those crazy windmills that are all made in China.
What do you guys think? Are you guys pro solar, pro energy, or are you guys pro coal? What do you guys think? What kind of energy are you feeling? Do you believe in the climate agenda? Do you believe in climate change and all this stuff? Or do you think that's all hogwash? You think it's not true? You think a lot of this, or you think it's all just a lie? What do you think?
You know, they're made in China, but not used by China. Let's look for a couple of wind farms in China, see if you can find one. They sell us those things for fortunes, but we don't do them anymore. Have we done any this year, Doug? We're not going to do any, hopefully for 4 years in this country. They're losers. They lose. You're supposed to make money with energy, not lose money with energy. And they lose a lot of money.
Definitely the windmills do. That's true.
And
I
by
don't
the
know
way,
about
they're
solar,
all over
though.
Europe, and I was recently there, and it's not recognizable what they've done to their beautiful fields and those beautiful, beautiful scenic areas, and they put those wind turbines all over the place, and they're chugging, 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 not doing a damn thing except every time it goes around, it loses a fortune. It's horrible. They've lost their way. Not recognizable. And then I wonder why they don't like me over there. But you know who likes me over there? The people like me over there, I can tell you.
Every time Trump brings up the windmills, he'll bring up the birds, how it kills all the birds. I want to see if he sticks to the script. He always brings it up almost every time that he brings up the windmills. I'm just curious. Let's see.
Because they know I'm right. More than 200 million Americans across 35 states were impacted
not.
by the storm, and the only reason most were able to take a hot shower was thanks to the power provided by the most reliable, dependable, and really dependable form of energy that we have, and that's clean, beautiful coal. Biden and the radical left wanted to abolish coal. They did everything they could, everything possible. But on day one of this administration, I ended the war on coal. We terminated the Green New Scam, and we withdrew from the unfair, one-sided Paris Climate Accord. That was another beauty we had. We paid $1 trillion. Nobody else
Yeah,
had
that
paid
was a
10
total
cents.
scam. Total
Already,
scam.
I've saved 74 coal power plants from crushing restrictions and closures that would have been forced to shut down in the very immediate future. And today, I'm proud to announce that the Tennessee Valley Authority is taking action to save 2 major coal plants in Tennessee. Tennessee Valley
That's good.
Authority.
I mean, that's the stuff we should be doing. We should be saving, obviously U.S. companies. That's extremely important. Extremely important.
The plants are the Cumberland Fossil Plant and the Cumberland City. It's in Cumberland City. It's a big, beautiful thing that they just wanted to shut down. The Tennessee Valley Authority has gone in a very stupid, very bad direction. The head of it, it's considered sort of semi-private. It's supposed to be semi-public, but it's semi-private. It's the highest paid government-type official in history. I think they pay them $10 million a year. They're paying them $10 million. I think the Speaker of the House wants to resign and head the Tennessee Valley Authority. And he could do a much better job, I can tell you that. Is that right, Doug? They pay him $10 million a year. Can you believe it? Well, Trump is on the scene now. We're going to make his life miserable. $10 million. I wonder what he got before he got that job. Probably making $150,000, right? And the Kingston fossil plant in Harriman, Tennessee, so they're going to remain open and they're going to be vibrant. They're going to be improved, built up, and continue to do all the things that they do. These 2 plants were slated for termination, but we're going to save over 450 jobs by keeping them going and going strong. In addition, I'm directing the Department of Energy to issue funds to coal plants in West Virginia, Ohio, North Carolina, and Kentucky to keep them online and keep those plants open. Right, Jim?
That's all good stuff. If it's true.
And very importantly, we're also bringing our coal mines roaring back to life. Under 4 years of the Biden administration, Sleepy Joe, not a single permit was approved for a new coal mining project. Think of it. 4 years, not one permit. They were all being disapproved, actually. So not a single permit was approved. I didn't know that. But in 1 year of Trump, we've already approved over 70 permits for very big, very powerful mines that are going to be with us for many, many years to come. And we did that over the last 30 days. We did more than half of them because we have the system going now. It's a very reliable source, great source. If you look at some of the most prosperous places in the world, they run on coal. Since I took office, coal production is up by nearly 4 million tons a month after falling for decades. I mean, literally decades. Coal power generation is up by nearly 15% in my first year, and that number is going to be about 25 or 30% this coming year, at least. These pro-American energy policies are bringing energy prices way down. You see what's happening even with gasoline. I was in Iowa last week, and it was $1.85 a gallon. And many of them are $1.99 and 191.
The question is, will those gas prices stay the same now that we're about to be going into a war with Iran? I mean, that's going to happen. If we have two carrier strike groups in the Strait of Oman, what do you expect to happen? So
We have them under $2 a gallon now. A little while ago, just a year and a half ago, they're at $3.50, $4, $4.50. In California, $7 because of its crazy taxes. Coal is one of the lowest price energy sources, and it's probably considered by almost everybody to be the most reliable. It requires no subsidies because you make money with coal. More coal means lower cost and more money in the pocket of the American citizens and in the pocket, frankly, of the United States of America. That's not bad. Every once in a while, we have to take care of our country, right? With us today is Kayla Blackford, who drives a haul truck at Bear Run Mine in Dugger, Indiana. Great state. We love Indiana. I only like states that are one so big, I want to pick. No, I like them all. Where she has worked for 5 years, and she's joined by her wonderful husband, Eric, who also works at the mine, and their really incredible son, Isaac. And Kayla, if you could come forward, I'd like to just have you say a few words, please. Come on up. Where's Kayla?
Trump's going to bring him
Oh,
up.
hi, Kayla.
Bring him up. Overall, this is all pretty good for the United States. I mean, America's still winning the war. We're just,
Thank you,
we're
Mr.
owned by
President.
Israel, and that's the
As he
biggest
said,
problem.
My name is Kayla Blackford, and I am so proud and honored to be here today representing Peabody and coal miners across this country. My husband and I both work at Bear Run Mine in southern Indiana. I drive a haul truck, and I train others on this large piece of equipment. A haul truck is used to move rock or coal and is capable of carrying loads of nearly 250 tons. The tires are 12 feet tall. When I stand next to one, I barely reach the middle of the tire. It's the best job I've ever had, and not just because of the cool mom points I get for driving big equipment. My job supports my family. It supports our community, and it keeps the lights on and electricity affordable, not just in Indiana, but across the country. As demand increases and our lives become increasingly electrified, America needs to generate more electricity, not less. For years, coal miners have felt the weight
When are we going to talk about free energy, though? When are we going to talk about those things?
of policies that made our future uncertain. Over the past year, that weight has begun to lift. My son, Isaac, who's here today, has friends whose parents also work at Bear Run. And when you grow up seeing huge mining equipment from the road, like Isaac and his friends do, you dream about the day when you get to run that equipment. When a mine closes, families don't just lose their jobs. They're often forced to leave their communities, their schools, and their support systems behind.
That's absolutely true. I don't know if you guys have seen it. On YouTube, there's a video of, I don't know the guy's YouTube channel, but he goes out to the Appalachian Mountains, and it's completely desolate. There's like nothing there. And it was like a coal miners kind of town, so you guys should look that up. I'll try to find the YouTube channel maybe later if I can remember.
The common sense policies to keep coal plants running implemented by this administration mean that my husband and I can keep working, stay where we are, and continue raising our son in our community that we call home. And the impact is even greater than that because you, Mr. President, have single-handedly kept utility prices affordable, the lights on, and our jobs alive. We are real people under these hard hats. On behalf of America's coal miners, thank you, Mr. President, for
I'm gonna
recognizing the
try to
value
find
of
that.
coal and the value of the people who power this industry every day. Thank you so much. So nice to meet you. Thank you very much for all of the things. Sorry, I'll take that.
Good job. She did a good job.
Yeah, if you guys are seeing my screen here, this is the video I'm talking about specifically. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but this is, you guys should go check out this channel. It's his channel is Peter Santanello, and he basically just travels across the country and he visits all these desolate towns. But he visits one of these towns in Appalachia, in McDowell County, and then a couple other different towns, and it just shows the coal miners kind of, look at these towns, completely desolate. So we'll tap into
The
here for
AI
like 2
Toolkit is
seconds.
live on
Sorry,
Artlet.
these stupid ads.
Every leading AI tool you
Who else
need
is
for
sick of
video
the YouTube
creation
ads, by the
is
way,
now
while we're here
organized
watching
for
this
you.
and kind of studying these things?
They go right out of
I'm
high
like
school
so
into the
sick of
mines.
YouTube ads.
What is this, a mine shaft down here?
Deep mines.
That is some crazy work. You're just under here in the dark.
We say what we mean, and we mean what we say.
No BS.
No.
So this is who that lady was really talking about when she's talking about how these desolate coal miners' towns, how they go out of business, they lose the money, they lose the business, they lose the people there. And obviously it's because it's a dying brand, right? We have energy, we have the lithium wars in Ukraine and all of those things happening, rare earth elements, and then you have, you know, the way these people live today.
Pass away, it's like fish
It's almost like they're lost in time.
being out of water.
You would tell the young people just to leave?
Last week, my husband worked 73 hours in the coal mines.
If the flame burn a certain color, they know they were methane. Miner knowed it was time to get out of there. I was the first person in this county that was ever prescribed Oxycontin.
This is all family?
This is all family.
That's the way
That's
these people
true.
live, though, you know? I mean, not
it
all
takes
of them.
rare
but
breed for coal mine.
it's crazy. You know, these guys go through a lot. Anyways.
Oh, no.
But if you go to that channel again, Peter Santinello, he covers all of those different desolate towns. But that's just a little insight into the coal miners' kind of lifestyle, how they've basically lost everything. And there's like nothing out in these towns anymore. So Trump's bringing a lot of money back and these companies back to the U.S. should bring a lot of money back for these kind of companies.
Right? Look at the boy. He's so proud of mom, huh? Did a good job? Couldn't do better, right? Anyway, thank you, Kelly. That's really nice. Thank you very much. Coal is also critical to our national security, vital to everything from steel production to shipbuilding and artificial intelligence. It's incredible what's happening with coal. And it's also incredible how clean they're able to keep it now with all of the new techniques. By using it, they're able to do things environmentally that are amazing. You see that. That's why I'm also pleased to announce that in just a moment, I will sign an executive order that directs the Department of War to work directly with coal plants on the new power purchasing agreements, ensuring that we have more reliable power and stronger and more resilient grid power. And we're going to be buying a lot of coal through the military now, and it's going to be less expensive and actually much more effective than what we have been using for many, many years. And again, with the environmental progress that's been made on coal, it's going to be just as clean. As some of you may know today, February 11th is Thomas Edison's birthday. There could be no better way to honor the legacy of the man who lit the world. Did you know that? The man who lit the world.
It wasn't Thomas Edison. It was Nikola Tesla, though. Can we all agree? Nikola Tesla, I mean, yeah, you can say that Thomas Edison harbored the DC current, but ultimately, let's just be honest. It was Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla is the reason we have the light bulb, ultimately. Thomas Edison, yeah, he controlled the DC current. You can say Nikola Tesla controlled the AC current, but ultimately it was Nikola Tesla. We should give Nikola Tesla that credit.
World, Isaac, do you know that? You ever hear of Thomas Edison? A little before your time, slightly.
Thomas Edison just commercialized the light bulb more than anything. He commercialized, he capitalized it.
But then to reaffirm our commitment to American energy independence and the American energy dominance. We're going to be dominant, and we are dominant right now. We have a new group of people that we're very close to, become very close to, and that's called Venezuela, where we're taking in this case, oil. We had
Fuck yeah.
50 million barrels of oil that we have floating right now to Houston to be refined, and we're getting energy from all different sources, and so oil and gas is fantastic.
What do you guys think about Venezuela? You think we should be taking Venezuela? I totally think we should. I'm a big fan of the Western Hemisphere dominance. I'm a big fan of that entire movement. Ultimately, I think that's best for America. We need to control the Western Hemisphere. Now, do I think we should be controlling the Eastern Hemisphere, a war with Iran? No.
So many of them are so good, but we're not going to use the bad ones. America is now the #1 energy producer in the world. We are by far #1. In fact, we're very soon going to be #1 by double what #2 is. And under our leadership, we're becoming a massive energy exporter. In just the past few months, we've made historic trade deals with Japan, Korea, India, and others to increase our coal exports dramatically. We're now exporting coal to all over the world, and the quality of our coal is supposed to be. I mean, I'm not an expert in coal, but I've been very good to the people that are. The quality of our coal is supposed to be the finest anywhere in the world. From West Virginia to Wyoming, from Ohio to Montana, and all across the country, we're lifting up our hardworking American miners like nobody has ever done before. We're bringing down costs of American consumers, and together we're making the most of the magnificent land that God gave us to rebuild the greatest economy and the greatest nation in the history of the world. Another one of my favorite words is the word
If you guys are tuned in, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. It would help grow this channel. That's what we're trying to do here. Appreciate it.
tariff. You know, tariff is very, I know they want to hear that little story. I used to say it's my favorite word. They said, what about God? What about religion? What about family and your wife, your children? So now I make it my fifth favorite word. Oh, you have no idea. I suffered.
That was an interesting
Kayla,
statement.
I was the word tariff, you know.
Do you guys think Trump is Jewish or is he a Christian? Honestly, like, what do you guys think? Is Trump Jewish or is he a Christian? I mean, I am curious.
Tariff is very, I know they want to hear that little story. I used to say it's my favorite word. They said, what about God? What about religion? What about family and your wife, your children? So now I make it my fifth favorite word. Oh, you have no idea. I suffered. Kayla, I was suffering from the fake news media. They were going after me when I said it was my favorite word. So I make it number 5, and I think I'm generally speaking okay. They'd like it to be a little bit later than that. But because of tariffs, you saw that it was just announced, our trade deficit has gone down. Now, if you go down 1 point, 2 points, you're like a genius. It's gone down 78%. 78%. Can you believe it? And we have to fight. Right, Speaker? And we have to fight. Just came out. Everyone's saying, that can't be right. 78% reduction in our trade deficit. And next year, we're going to be positive if we keep it all going. We're waiting for a very important decision.
I do think that will actually end up being a positive outlook for the markets. Just on, being a realtor myself, studying the markets, talking to some of the clients I have been, and like a lot of people who are higher echelon, some people in government even. Looks like there's going to be some kind of turnaround sometime in 2026. Maybe before April, you may see something happen, especially with certain legislations. But just pay attention to that. I do see positive things happening. I think Trump's going to be, he's going to end up being correct about a lot of this stuff.
From the Supreme Court. But I want to thank the speakers here because you have fought with me. You got it very early. Now almost everybody's getting it. But it's numbers that we've never seen. The other thing is breaking 7,000 on the S&P, and very importantly, 50,000 yesterday. 50,000 we broke on the Dow. And if you remember, when I won, they said if he could ever produce 50,000 by the end of his fourth term, by the end of his fourth year, it would be unbelievably successful. Well, we produced 50,000 in excess now, went up today, in excess of 50,000 at the end of my first year. So that's some difference. And that's because of tariffs. So we're doing numbers that nobody thought were possible. The economy is rich. I tell the story that in Saudi Arabia, the king said, sir, a year and a half ago, we were all saying you were a dead country, and now you have the hottest country anywhere in the world. That's true. We're the hottest country anywhere in the world. And
that's partially true, because a lot of countries want to come here. That's for sure. We have a high immigration rate. And yes, we are the greatest country, but that's depleting and that's going away because unfortunately, like the UK, we are bringing too many illegal immigrants. And then basically we're unable to control these people and document them even. And then this causes everything we've seen in Minneapolis today, Minnesota, and then all of the political turmoil that we've been seeing for pretty much since Trump got reelected.
reasons.
It's not all Trump's fault either. I mean, to me, I'm a huge Trump guy. I voted for Trump twice and, regrettably on some levels, but ultimately this is a dude who, look at who surrounds him. Howard Lutnick was in court today. We did a live stream about it earlier. And these people are getting him in huge trouble, right? And so, again, I'm not saying Trump isn't implicated either, which he is, but at the same level, again, all of these people are basically all these people are on the same team. They all play for the same team, and we're all just we're all watching a show. It's all theater. And honestly, all of this stuff matters, but if no prosecutions happen and if no real justice, no American power, all of these things that Trump's saying, if they don't become true, then he'll be a lame duck president. And that's what we can't allow to happen to any president, Republican or Democrat. Sorry to drone on there.
So once again, I'd like to thank you for the tremendous honor of being here, and especially these gentlemen in the front row and a couple of you in the second row. What happened to the guys in the second row? They couldn't make it to the front. What's wrong with them? They don't shovel it as well, right? But I want to thank you and invite the chairman of our National Coal Council, Peabody Energy CEO, which is a great company, by the way, Jim Grech, to come up and say a few words. Please, Jim. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, we stand here today representing the thousands of coal miners across the country to express our deep gratitude to you, sir, for the actions you've taken to support our industry. Your leadership and decisive actions have sent a powerful message. We have a president who, more than any other, deeply understands the importance of coal in supporting the future of this nation. Sir, you know what most people don't. The U.S. has more energy in its coal than any nation has in any single energy source. We have more energy than Russia has in its gas, and we have more energy than Saudi Arabia has in its oil. Yet before you, sir, presidents were afraid
With
to allow
Venezuela,
coal
that's true.
to help keep electricity abundant and low cost. And Mr. President, that changed with you. We saw the impact of your wise policy in real time during the recent winter storm as temperatures plunged and demand surged. The coal plants you directed to keep open provided the stability and resilience that the grid needed. And today, thanks to your leadership, sir, we are working with your administration on the potential to build new coal-fueled power plants and having coal emerge as a source of rare earth elements and critical minerals that are essential for our national security
Rare earth
and
elements.
economic future.
That's where it's at.
Because of you, sir, the mining towns that once feared for their futures.
By the way, if you guys didn't already know, which I'm sure you do, I'm sure all of you guys are keeping track on this, but the Ukraine-Russia war, that's what it's all about. That's why it is important that, America remains a mediator so we have control over those rare earth elements. And that's the logic of Trump. Also, this has to do, it's not really the most essential thing for America with Ukraine and the lithium war. I call it the lithium war because it's really what it's about, the rare earth elements. But ultimately, that's the battle that's being fought.
Renewed optimism and a sense of pride restored. Families feel more secure. Local businesses are growing again. Communities that had been written off are reinvigorated. For the thousands of workers across this industry, your support has meant more than policy, sir. It has meant dignity, stability, and the recognition that their work matters in making America great again. So, sir, Mr. President, on behalf of Michael Day, the chairman of the Washington Coal Club, and all the coal miners across our great country, I'd like to ask there's some executives and coal miners are going to join us on stage, and we are going to present you an award, sir.
Oh, that's great. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Meanwhile, Netanyahu is over here getting standing ovations for like the 6th time. I hope Trump ends up succeeding. I hope all of this ends up working out. Ultimately, I want America to win, obviously. Republican, Democrat, we want America to be first. We want America to win. So hopefully, all of this works out. Let's hope the right people end up getting in trouble for the Epstein files, all of that. They need to be prosecuted. Certain people need to be investigated, and we need to do a real cleaning of house. And that's what needs to happen. That's what we elected Trump to do.
The trophy says the undisputed champion of beautiful, clean coal. Thank you, sir.
We shall see. We shall see what happens. Looks like that might be it. Looks like he's just pretty much okay, and then he signs this in. Big old Sharpie, the Trump way. That'd be kind of dope, though, right? To be the president, get to write those signatures.
Okay. Here you go, fellas. Take these.
And then he hands out the Sharpie. That's my favorite. I wish I want a autograph. I want an autographed Trump Sharpie where he gives the autograph, man. I want one of them. That'd be dope. That'd be dope.
Okay, come on.
Look at Mike Johnson. He's so happy because Israel's just winning so hard. This guy took a lot of money from AIPAC too. Both of these guys. AIPAC, 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 AIPAC.
Good. Thank you very much. Good luck. Make a lot of money.
Let's hope they do make a lot of money. And that is pretty much the speech. And so what do you guys think? Is America occupied? What's happening? What's ultimately the result of America? Especially after these kind of things. Because honestly, it's not so good. When I look at these, again, this is a clip from Pam Bondi earlier today, and doesn't look so good. Hold on, just loading.
Were there any underage girls at that party or at any party that Trump attended with Jeffrey Epstein?
The silence is just defeating. Oh my God.
This is so ridiculous. And that they are trying to deflect from all the great things Donald Trump has done. There is no evidence.
The pause. The pause.
All the great deflect.
Hold on.
It's
the pause. And I don't even like this guy. This guy is terrible. I mean, he was the same guy trying to get Trump impeached in 2016. And again, he's a Chinese communist spy. I mean, half of our Congress is. So is this lady, but the pause, she didn't even know what to say.
This is so ridiculous. And that they are trying to deflect from all the great things Donald Trump has done. There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that. This has been the most transparent presidency. He's the one that asked that those files
I'm reclaiming my time.
be
I got your
released.
answer. You said there's no evidence.
Trump asked
Mr. Chairman, please stop the
clock.
Stop the clock.
The legislation. This is
I'd like to reclaim my time. Were there any underage?
Overall, I think Pam Bondi did pretty good defending herself. But, I mean, it's not good. Not looking good for America. Before we close it out, we'll look at the Twitter X feed real quick. What's new? The artist known as Jess. I like this guy.
Her future as the AG right down her leg. Her answers were the biggest sacks of bullshit I have ever heard in congressional testimony. And that's all congressional testimony is known as for bullshit. She's asked about why the wrong people are redacted out of the files. And her answer was, why don't you ask Merrick Garland? It's like, bitch, Merrick Garland is an attorney general. She doesn't even understand how this fucking works, dude. Trying to point the finger at Merrick Garland. Yeah, now Merrick Garland belongs in jail, and so does Pam Bondi for fucking violating the Transparency Act. She doesn't even understand what's going on.
Seriously.
Here. At one point, they asked about, why weren't you more forthcoming in releasing these files? And she's like, have you seen the stock market? The stock market is at record highs. And it's like, what in the fuck are you talking about, bitch? The stock market? What does the stock market have to do with it? Unless you really do believe that, we can't release these fucking Epstein files because it's all the billionaires and the evil shit they've been doing and it'll crash the economy and it'll hurt the stock market. Oh no, we can't hurt the stock market. I don't give a fuck about the stock market. If you got
Sorry for the cussing. There's a little bit of cursing. He likes to curse a little too much.
Fucker to zero to get the fucking Satan worshiping pedophiles out of here, then that's what you gotta do, bitch. And they're like, Thomas Massey's just fucking got all these. He went and saw the unredacted files. He's got these big posters behind him, and his redactions are fucking Velcro, and he's just pulling them off, and he's asking her, and he's like, you guys testified that there were no co-conspirators, and he's got the FBI files right there, and he just pulls off their action. He's like, that's weird, this FBI file says, here's the co-conspirators, like Les Wexner. So you just lied, bitch. That's contempt of Congress.
Perjury.
That's perjury. Both Pam Bondi and Kash Patel are now guilty of perjury because they said that there were no co-conspirators. Remember? Oh, he didn't traffic to anybody. That's all over in the files of a lot of fucking trafficking to a lot of people. On top of that, we aren't even gonna have to wait for them to be redacted because the American people, some fucking programmer kid says 30 minutes, he wrote some code, and it's already unredacting files. You cannot outsmart us. The government is not the best and the brightest among us. No, they are the most immoral and stupidest among us. We all know how the government works. It doesn't fucking work. Get on any government job site, and you guarantee it's all fucked up because of fucking incompetence at some level. And this is the same fucking thing. You can't outsmart the American people. We will find the fucking truth. We don't fucking need you anymore. You lying sacks of shit. You can't fuck. This is gonna accelerate between Ian Carroll, what this kid just did to get these files unredacted. Fucking, I hope both of them have good protection. I have heard that none of these people are suicidal. Fuck off, Mr. Rooster. Fuck these fucking pedos.
Okay.
This is the
All
revolution.
Right. That's enough of that. But all right, so that's what's going on. And then again, we'll go through a couple other things happening in the Twitter X algorithm. What's this? It's supposed to be a UFO. See, Project Bluebeam, all of those things happening, but apparently this is supposed to be a UFO. Then we have this happening. So, anyways, ultimately, what do you guys think about everything?
Ties to Epstein when he chose him to lead the Department of Commerce. Was he aware?
Chris Malin was a Border Patrol agent.
Okay, so I'm going to conclude that the president, in fact, did know about his ties because he was the next door neighbor.
Shame on you.
Oh, for goodness sakes,
You're
this
from
is
a tiny,
pathetic. This
beautiful
is
state.
pathetic, Mr. Chair. I am not asking trick questions here. The
You got your
American
5
people have a right
Such
to
a
know
theater
the answers
show.
to this. These are senior officials in the Trump administration. This is not a game, Secretary.
I'm Attorney
That's true. It isn't a
My
game.
apologies, I couldn't tell.
Damn, she got her there.
Was the president aware of...
Got to clean house, guys. Ultimately, if we don't, who knows what happens to America. With that being said,